right, good morning, traders. So let's see what the SPY's doing. SPY's going sideways. And QQQ going up as well. So far, all I have on my watch list is DLPN and HOFV. These were the NFT plays last week. Both of them getting some attention here. And they're offering the first NFT offering. So I've heard of ICOs and ITOs, which is initial coin offerings and initial token offerings, but this is the first non-fungible token offering. So these two could get a lot of attention today. HOFV has a lot more volume at the moment, but the LPN is above all indicators, and we know it can rip pretty hard if it gets going. So I got my eye on these two right out the gate. I don't plan on making a trade right out the gate unless there's a very good pattern. We got 3 minutes till market open here. I'm not going to add anything to my watch list until we get into market open and we see what's really running. Because it seems like the first 30 minutes of the market we're getting very quick pops, little fake out breakouts, and then then right after that first 30 minutes we start to get some solid predictable plays. So that's what I'm kind of waiting on, is to see what plays we get, what happens in this first 30 minutes. Unless DLPN starts to go crazy. So DLPN's only had 300,000 in volume yet. Pre-market highs at 1450. So it could start getting volume right out the gate. This is a little U shape, but we'll see. But I'm thinking it's going to be best to wait out the first 30 minutes. Probably. But I like DLPN because after this initial rip, it sold off, but it did hold some of its gains. That kind of that $12 area where the 9 is, it was able to hold up. Hello, Melvin. Good morning. So I'm gonna watch DLPN out the gate here, and then I'll start trying to build the watch list. And we are about to open up. Good morning, Angel. But yeah, I'm gonna be being cautious. HOFV pulling back down to $5. That may be a good entry. Some support there at 5. We actually got pretty good volume. None on the NYSE, but on the NASDAQ area, we got pretty good volume here. On a couple plays. Dogs. We'll throw dogs up there. Dogs is interesting. Little flag going on dogs. And it's starting to pop up. Pre-market highs at that 235, so that's going to be a little resistance. That's selling off a little bit. That's selling off. TLPN selling off. So the only thing not selling off right at the moment is dogs. I may go on dogs. See, so it's 24 times. Yeah, I'm going on dogs. 24 times surge in China e-commerce. Other product smart line. So what I get filled at 229. That's not terrible. Well, we've broke the triangle. As long as this candle holds up, we don't drop back into the triangle, which it is kind of starting to drop back into the triangle a little bit. We want this triangle to confirm, this breakout to confirm, so we don't want it dropping much lower than that in this 220 area. Well, I was about to say a little resistance at 225, but they just got taken out. I think we're going to test this pre-market high. Oh, here we go. We're getting close to it. Hello, Simon. Good morning. Yeah, we're looking pretty good here. Testing it right now. See if we get the buying volume to break through this pre-market high. And let me look on the chart here. And if we break pre-market high, we got room to 250, and that'll probably be pretty tough. Hello, Daniel B. Good morning. There we go. Breaking over the pre-market high. Making a new high at 240. A little bit of selling at 240 through 240. All the way, we're getting moving now. All the way up to 250 here. The stock is getting a little frisky. Let's see, breaking through 250. like I said, 250 is going to be tough. Oh, nice. Oh, big buyers just stepped in at 250 on the bid. We're still climbing here. Still getting hung up at 250 though. A nice triangle break. See, it looks like we're going to test 250 some more here. If we keep testing, big buying volume keeps coming. We got this increase in volume too. We may make them move past 250. See, there's some resistance at 260 and 275. After 275, it's pretty clear all the way up to 3. But we'll see. Let's see how much this can run. It is getting hung up here. We may have a little pullback on this candle here. And you see buyers pushing it right back up. There we go. Getting very close to pushing for another new high here. Good morning, Daniel M. Here we go. Getting real close. $250 still holding. Really close to breaking over this high. Just need a little bit more buying push. 250 starting to... Okay, I was going to say, if 250 can start holding that support, we'll be good to go. We did get rejected there at 250, so we may have to consolidate here for a little bit. Kind of got a little triangle here starting to form. A little consolidation triangle. Well, never mind, that triangle's... Yeah, starting to have a little curl over. See, 235 was pre-market high, so I want 235 to build a support worst case. And you can see buyers are trying to come in and hold up 235. I'll go ahead and delete this triangle so I don't see it. But yeah, we should have support right across here. I don't like the look of this candle with this red candle. It kind of looks like, you know, getting smashed there. So this candle needs to really push back up over 240. Actually, this candle's fixing to close, so maybe the next candle. Getting a little resistance at 240. We're having a rejection here. Strong rejection on that at that 250 area. And if we draw a trend line's down at 220. That pre-market high crack there. But yeah, looks like we're just coming back down to the trend line. So as long as that holds. Good morning, Kartik. As long as that holds, it should be good. Let's pop SFET looking pretty decent here. Little cup and handle. Possible break of $1.80. And we don't want this to crack too much harder. There we go. Starting to get some bids stack at 225. It's a pretty sharp sell-off there. See ANTF curling over. Looks like that got halted. AVCT possible low U-shape maybe, but it's in a downtrend. Yeah, I think the best play is dog still. I'm not seeing SFAT getting rejected at that 180. I'm not seeing much else making a move at the moment, so. And this is very good PR on dogs. And we're still selling off a little bit. I may have missed that possible profit. So I was up in the profit there for a second, but I was looking for that 235 to hold it, and it's having problems. If it starts cracking below this trend line, then it's going to get ugly. Need to see buyers come in and push us back up off the trend line. There's some buyers sitting on the trend line, but they're starting to get taken out. I'm about to have to hop out of this. Look at this on a higher time frame. On the 15 minute, we got a big upper shadow on the 15 minute. Nasty, nasty upper shadow there. Yeah, I can't draw. So on the 15 minute, this needs to cut. If this candle can come above the body of this big red 15-minute candle, then we could get an engulfing on 15. I don't know. It's a lot of selling off here. I'm getting close to having to jump out if this does not start turning back up in a second. Actually, let me draw this downtrend a little bit better. It's more like this. So we got to get over 225 to break this downtrend. Got a lot of sellers out so far, but we've came all the way back down to this 215 area. Kind of this pre-market area where it consolidated. I'm not seeing much else going on. HOFV and DLPN selling off. SFET selling off. Nice pop on AVCT there. And very going on a pretty crazy move. Nice little U-shaped break on very right there and making a nasty rip so far. $4 rip. Dogs is getting real close to cracking. Even with this very, very good PR, it's struggling to move. Very looks like it may break over 20 here soon. We're just getting pushed down this downtrend. And the stock is close to giving back all its gains for pre-market. It's got to break over this downtrend here. If it doesn't break over this downtrend here, I'm gonna get out because Just going to continue to ride down it if it doesn't have a reversal here soon. It's testing the downtrend now. Pop on the Vary real quick. Vary's making a flag. So that's flagging right under 20. Yeah, look, dog's getting pushed down again. Cannot break. So much selling pressure, and I'm not sure why there's so many sellers. Like before this good news, the price was $1.84, and 20 cents above that with 24x surge in e-commerce. But sometimes stocks can have the best PR, and it doesn't matter. My chart does not fit properly on the screen. You can see it though. What can't you see? You can see everything. And we did get a bit of a little doji there, so we may have found support finally. It's not a full-on doji, but it's the only place that buyers gave some resistance. I don't want to use the word resistance, but where buyers gave some pushback at is on this candle. The rest of these candles is just kind of buyers just falling out. Yeah, but what are you missing? You're not missing anything on the end of the screen. Alright, dogs, it's time to come back alive. You're only up 11%. There's another thing, too. It's only up 11%. This much selling is... Oh, Vary did break over 20. See, breaking out of that little triangle. That thing may continue to run. Ooh, nice, Orlando. You got in at 14. Are you still in it? I mean, that's a hell of a win if you're still in it up to, from 14 up to 20. That's $6 a share. That's a big win. If buyers don't come back in right here, this is gonna crack hard. Well, I don't know how hard it's gonna crack. 'Cause like I said, the price beforehand was 184, and we got tons of support right above $2 too. So I shouldn't get below 2, but you never know. Hey, 18 from 14 to 18 is still good. That's a $4 a share profit, man. It's a nice job. Very nice. Looks like it might run again. I'm gonna see if I can get 2 shares. No, I ain't got enough for 2 shares. Let's grab 1 share then. I think I got enough for 1 share. There we go. I filled 1980. 1 share. Just in case it keeps running. See, even though we crossed the downtrend, it's still getting pushed down. Just not getting a lot of buying volume in here. Got pretty decent volume at the beginning, but the rest of this time, this has just been slowly cracking. Let's see, let's hop over to Very real quick. I see it's having a bit of a pullback. Kind of curling over a little bit there. Don't really want to see it curl over. Yeah, see, it's Very may pull back here because this is one of them patterns, kind of like we had on dogs, where we got the rejection at an area. And it fought, and then now it's starting to come down a little bit. See, dogs is trying to come back alive. Yeah, so we're still just getting this triangle of consolidation on Very right now, right below 20. Stays in that flag, it could break here soon. All the time frames on this does not look that good. See, Very is getting very close to breaking out of this triangle. And it looks like it's going to. Oh, maybe not. So it's fighting with the top of the triangle right now. May crack down out of the triangle. Got rejected pretty hard from the top there. So dogs basically consolidating right above $2 right now. Let me redraw the bottom of this because it's kind of wonky. There we go. So this is a big triangle that Very is forming. If it can hold that support area of 19. See, we got ears getting a little attention, and EYES as well. Just once again, not a lot of volume in the small caps and the penny stocks. And there's some decent volume, but just not getting that big volume. Looks like dogs may be getting back over this 210 area. Well, I like rice, especially like it with orange chicken. It's pretty good. No, I'm just kidding. It's not bad. I mean, you got this nice uptrend. You just play it on the uptrend there. As long as this uptrend holds up, you could possibly look for an entry. Yeah, it's just consolidating. It's testing the trend line right now on rice. Like, that's all it's doing. You get this nice uptrend here, and it's just testing the trend line. So as soon as that trend line is confirmed and it stops testing it, you could possibly look for a little entry there. Ooh, Vary is all over the place. I don't know if that's going to break out or not. See, dogs is starting to come back alive a little bit. Good morning, One Life. Where you been, buddy? You're all late, man. What are you late for? Late to the party. We're having nachos and stuff in here. Give me just a second, guys. I'm signing some paperwork here. That's why I wasn't on the stream yesterday. I was looking at a property, trying to buy it. All right. Yeah, V-Wap is. You really don't even need to know too much what the V-Wap is, but yeah, Orlando answered it. It's the volume weighted average price, which is a big mouthful, but basically just use it as support and resistance if you're going to use the V-Wap. Like the same way I use indicators, you can use the V-Wap as support and resistance. So if I add the V-Wap in here, I'll show you how to use it real quick. Or maybe I'll just be dumb and not actually put the thing in. Let's see here. Come on. Let's do the thing. There you go. Okay. Oh, boy. Yeah, I forgot. I got to turn off the upper band and lower band. There we go. So you can see right now this is below the V-Wap. So the V-Wap is going to be some resistance at 226. We take a look at VREY. It's above the V-Wap. So the V-Wap is kind of holding that support. You can see it's kind of riding on the V-Wap right at the moment. This crazy triangle that we got going on here. But you can just think of it like this. If it's above the V-Wap, it's bullish. Below the V-Wap, it's bearish. It's not a line that is going to be the end-all be-all. Just because it's resistance here and just because this is bearish under the V-Wap doesn't mean that the stock will necessarily sell off. But the V-Wap is a decent indicator for support and resistance. I'll leave it on for just a minute so if Dogs comes back up. And you see Rice is below the V-Wap as well at the moment. What'd you say? AVCT or ASTC? STC. And they're doing a common offering. Anytime something has a common offering, I mean, if you're gonna maybe try to swing it because it is so low, that is a possibility. But trying to make a day trade on this is not gonna probably work out, more than likely, because common offerings don't usually do too well. See, Vary is popping up out of the triangle, so that may start moving. Dogs is curling back up. Well, if it's long term, you want to go do your due diligence. You want to go look. You want to go research it and see what the company's about and what their debt to income is and all that. So Vary is pushing up to that 21 area. It looks like it may break over 21 here soon. I'm going to just keep letting my one share ride there because we are pretty bullish breaking out of that. Dogs is trying to curl back up, but the volume on Dogs is getting extremely low. So I don't know if that's going to come back up or not. So here's your $21 break. Oh. Yeah, there it comes. Boom. Ooh, man, that ripped over 21, went straight to 22. That was a whole dollar move in 5 seconds. And now it's coming back down. It's still got to consolidate a little bit. Very back down to 20. Alright, it looks like dogs may be done. We got a little pivot point here. Look at it on a higher time frame. God, the 15-minute just looks so bad. We do have support right there in that $2 area that's trying to hold, but if it gets rejected right here, it's probably going to come back down and test. VRUY, Kraken. Well, let me redraw that trend line. It's a little off. So actually, maybe you can draw the top of the triangle right here. So that was kind of a fake out breakout. Still kind of in that triangle. Yeah, DOGS came back down to that bottom support. So this is the trend line that's got to break. This is the SPY turning around right now. Oh, SPY having a bit of a pullback. So that could put a damper on things. We got a boring stock market again. This week has just been slow and choppy. Really, the last couple of weeks. We're very starting to crack out of that triangle now. Could have some support at the V-Wap. Possibly. Guys, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back. All right. So dog's still going down the trend line, the downtrend. Yeah, dogs took off right at market open. As choppy as it's been all week, I should have just locked out my profit on dogs at that 250 area. I knew that was going to be tough resistance, but I was really expecting a little bit more of a move with this good PR that they got, but good PR doesn't mean much. You gotta have the volume, and we had volume, and volume just slowly died off. Very coming down to the V-Wap, so that's close to breaking there. Or cracking, anyway. If it cracks the V-Wap, it's gonna really sell off. And there are some good rips happening every day. It's just there's a lot of different plays with PR, and it's a little tricky to pick which one's going to be the one that's going to make the nice move. Oh, there's absolutely fake PRs in the stock market. Not just because the market is regulated doesn't mean that hoodoo doesn't happen. I mean, more than likely, this is not a fake PR, but there's absolutely fake PRs in the stock market. Probably about to have to hop out of DOGZ out of dogs here because it is getting very close to dropping more. It just cannot get out of this selling pressure. Because we're not getting any new buying. You just look, more red on the time and sales than green. And there's just not a lot of volume. Yeah, the stock market is full of manipulations and fake PRs and hoodoo, all that stuff. So that's I got stopped out there, cracked. God, I'm doing terrible this week. I've lost every trade this week. So that's done. Nothing there. Cracking below. But if you don't get buying volume, I kind of had a feeling it was done when this volume kept decreasing and we weren't getting any buying volume. You see all that selling. Just not good price action on this chart. Started off alright, but just went to hell very quickly. I do trade crypto. I'm going to be starting to do crypto live stream trading here soon. Not in the mornings, but probably more at night. Daniel B, if you don't leave my screen alone, you can see my damn screen. They talking about okay, let's see. there. Is that better? You happy? Try not to have my account number and stuff up there. There. But yeah, here soon we'll start doing some live crypto trading as well. A lot of things going to be happening in the next couple of weeks with the channels. We got the giveaway tomorrow on both channels, so if you haven't yet, go hop on the both of those channel videos. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I know there's been some concern about all the spam comments, but the spam comments are not going to be entered because they did not hit the like button. There's 3 criteria that I said that you had to do, and a lot of those spam accounts and stuff have unsubscribed and everything else. So I have the new short channel with the investing shorts. You can find that in the links. Give me just a sec, guys. I'll be right. Yeah, very cracking as well. I'm just gonna go ahead and get out of this as well. I'm not shorting it. I only got one share. Just let me out of the damn thing. There we go. So everything kind of cracking down at the moment. This is what we kind of keep seeing, except for ears. Ears are still climbing. Nice trend line on the ears. So I mean, if you're looking for a possible play, it's really about the only place at the moment I see a possible play is on ears. Here, I get the link for the other channel for you. Post it here so you ain't gotta go look for it. But yeah, there's a giveaway on both channels. They're doing a $100 giveaway, and tonight is the deadline to be able to be sure that you did all the things. Oh, I sound frustrated and tired. No, I'm fine. I just got a lot going on. The reason why I didn't stream yesterday was a house popped on the market the night before, and it's a house that my wife and I absolutely had to jump on. So that's why I didn't stream yesterday, was because yesterday morning I was on the phone getting everything with the bank straightened out and getting showing to go look at the house. I went and looked at the house, put an offer in. So I had that going on, and then I had a bunch of different videos going on. You guys see I released a couple videos yesterday. One on this channel, one on the new channel, and then I'm also working with new sponsorships, a new video is going to be coming out. That is the first sponsored video of my channel. And then I've also got some things in the works for you guys. Instead of the Discord channel, I decided to do... Well, I don't know if I want to tell you guys yet. I kind of want to keep it a surprise. But let's just say I got something else in the works for the trading community as well. Yeah, Daniel B has no filter, but yeah, thanks for that, Orlando. I appreciate the support and the congratulations. But yeah, I am a little tired. It's been a very busy past week because I've had multiple sponsorship offers, and I've been in Google meetings, been on phone calls, trying to keep everything up on the channels. I'm not complaining. It's a good problem to have. I'm happy about it, but yeah, I am a little tired. and I've took this week has been a bad week for me trading. I've lost about every trade, so I'm gonna want to switch it up here. But I know what my problem is. I just keep holding too long. I just got to start locking out my profits as soon as I get them in this choppy market. I keep looking for bigger rips, and we're just not in the market for it. It's such a weird, sketchy market too, because like we're hitting new highs in the overall market, but we're just not getting a lot of volume in these penny stocks. But you can see it's a mixed market. Any extra funds? What do you mean? Hey, do I have any more funds today? No, I do not. I'm out of funds for today so far. You see a nice little bounce off the trend line there on ears. But here's a I've been trading naked charts a lot, and that's pretty much the reason why. You can see the V-Wap is right there where the uptrend is at that little area. Now it's above the V-Wap. But if you continue to draw the uptrend, you don't necessarily need the V-Wap. It's fine if you want to use it. I don't have any problems with using it, but I like to trade plain naked charts. What do you mean? Why don't I use what's in front of me? Whatever you're asking, it's not correlating in my brain. But we'll give the stream here about 20 minutes. If you guys have any more questions, suggestions, or ideas, go ahead and get those in. because I've got another busy day ahead. How do I see you got you guys have to be a little bit more specific with your questions. I'm not understanding your questions. What exactly are you asking me? What did I see? Thank you, Angel. Rice starting to move. Let's see. Let's take a look at Rice. Yeah, Rice coming back up to the uptrend, and you can see there the uptrend is in the same place just about as the V-Wap. So that's what I'm saying. You don't really have to use the V-Wap if you can spot the patterns in the price action pretty well. But yeah, Rice possibly could start to break out here. Nice little U shape there up into the V-Wap. So Daniel M, you're asking about the charts, the green and red, the candles. Oh, okay, I know what you're saying. So yeah, this is the SPY. This is the S&P 500 index. So this is the top 500 companies in the stock market in the U.S. I'm sure there's some probably other ones that aren't in the U.S., but majority U.S. And it kind of acts as an overall uh, price action indicator, whatever you want to call it, for the overall market, where it used to. Uh, QQQ is the NASDAQ. So both of those are kind of the overall markets. And we can see that we're hitting new highs up here. I mean, we're going straight up here recently. So you would think, since we've got, we're hitting new highs and stuff in the market, you would think that stocks would be running more. But they're just not. And to me, it just shows a disconnect between reality and the markets. Because with the S&P 500, the big thing about it is it looks like the market is ripping, but when you go to the market watch, the market is mixed. These are all stocks on the market, the bigger stocks, but you see Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Tesla, those are green right now. And those five, and Facebook too, but there's five or six big companies like the ones I'm talking about, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Google, that are heavily weighted in the S&P 500. So when all of those move, they can move the S&P 500 by themselves. So we're kind of getting, and this has only recently started happening in the past year, but normally when the SPY is moving up, the whole stock market is hot. But because those five stocks are so much percentage of the S&P 500, they can move the whole entire market because their market caps are so big. Don't worry, Orlando. There's gonna be plenty of times where the market will get hot again. We're in this weird little slow, choppy market that is pretending to be a bull market. But there will be times again where the market gets real hot. When the penny stocks and mid caps and stuff get real hot. But yeah, Michelle, that if you're noticing that, then that's good. You're paying attention. The market's going up, but yet there's a lot of red stocks. And Desire or Desiree, not sure what your name is, on the market watch, a lot of these are not new companies. Like this is Verizon right here that's red. This is JP Morgan, which is Chase. There's Nike. There's GE. So there's a lot of you do have some smaller companies, but you also have some big ones. There's AT&T. There's Disney that's red. So that's what I'm saying. There's Chevron that's red. But that's what I'm saying. It's a weird market, and I can tell you why. I can tell you why the market's so weird. It's because the Federal Reserve is manipulating. They're manipulating the whole entire economy right now. Oh, to view the heat map, you just click Market Watch and visualize. So right here at the top it says Market Watch, and then right below that, visualize, and then you can see it. Yeah, a lot of businesses have went out of business over the past year because of the lockdowns and stuff. But we have some there's right now there's a lot of disconnects. If you guys watched my crypto or my Bitcoin versus gold video that I put out last night, you'll see some of the disconnects that I was mentioning about silver and about gold between their physical prices going to a store and actually buy them versus the spot prices. It's a lot of hoodoo, a lot of manipulation happening right now. The Fed, I mean, as long as the Feds are doing stimulus packages and quantitative easing, they're just printing money and they're just buying stocks, and it's pushing the market up. Because they got to hold the market up. There's a lot of factors. One factor, I'll pull this up so you guys can see this. Now the let's see. Here we go. Okay, so here's the bond yields. You look at the 10 year, it's at 1.64%. It was all the way up to 1.77 the other day, which in reality the bond yields are not that high for the 10 year. And they really don't affect the market till they get to 3%. But the problem is, why this is important is because we are 30 trillion in debt. And still printing out money. Now, the stock market used to be connected to the economy, but it's not been connected to the economy since 2008, maybe even before. But if you look at the national debt is making me want to cuss. And then the U.S. federal tax revenue right here is only 3 trillion. So you can see the U.S. federal spending is 6 trillion. So they're spending 3 trillion more than they're actually making. The government is. And so with these stimulus checks, I'm going to tie all this in. Just keep in mind the bond yields and keep in mind the debt. With the stimulus checks, they are printing money. Now, of course, they're not actually physically printing money. They're just going in the computer and just saying, okay, we're adding $10 trillion in cash to the currency pool. Well, when you add money to the currency pool, because the US dollar is not valuable. It's just a piece of paper. It's a measurement of currency. So when you add more US dollars into the currency pool, you cause inflation. And inflation, a lot of people think, is where prices go up on everything. And that's not actually true in a sense. Inflation is where your dollar is being decreased in value. So all the items like gas or food, groceries, if you've noticed, they've been going up here the past couple of months. That's because your purchasing power of your dollar has went down. And I'll show you how to tell this. And then I'm about to wrap this all into one nice bow for you guys to understand, because it is a lot to understand. Took me a while to learn this too. So if you look at the US dollar index chart, the US dollar is decreasing. Let me see, what is that, a 1 day? Let's see. So let's look at a 3-year. So you can see the 3-year, this is the amount of value, purchasing power your dollar has on this index. And you can see it's been going down ever since 2020, because that's when we started money printing. That's when we added more money to the supply, the currency supply, so that devalues the dollar. If you look at an all-year chart, since the dollar's been taken off of the gold standard, there's nothing backing it. I don't know if it'll go back that far or not. But yeah, you can even see back here before 1990, the dollar index was all the way up at 125, and it's just been on this downtrend since. So that's because they keep printing money and doing quantitative easing. Now, why did they do this? Why did they do the quantitative easing? Why did they do all the stimulus packages? Because they purposely are trying to bring down the purchasing value of the dollar so they can pay back all of the debt. We've got all that debt. We're not making enough money to even pay anything on the debt. So if you devalue the dollar and then you pay back all the countries and the Federal Reserve everywhere that we have debt at, you're paying them back with less valuable dollars. Now the problem is the bond yields are basically the interest that we have to pay back on the loans, because we sell the bonds and the treasuries to get loans from other countries, and the Federal Reserve, they're basically like IOUs. So when those yields go up, that's more interest we have to pay back. So that leaves the feds and the government in a rock and a hard place when they're trying to devalue the currency to pay back the loan, but interest rates on bonds are going up, so they offset each other. So the Fed's plan to devalue currency and pay back is being offset by the U.S. bond yields rising. And there's nothing they can really do about it. And they can keep pretending like inflation doesn't exist, but all you have to do is think about this. The stimulus check that you got this year in 2021, if you look back at the one you got in 2020, the one in 2020 is going to buy you more gas during that time than you can buy now with your stimulus check. So the currency is getting destroyed right now, and they're propping up the stock market. They're propping it up because if they let any sign out of investors to know that the US dollar is falling apart and that the stock market is actually weak and the economy is weak, well, then everybody's going to run out of the stock market. That'll crash the stock market. That will cause a lot of businesses to not have money to pay the debts. There's a lot of companies, a lot of big companies that are over leveraged. They're in way too much debt. All of the airlines are a perfect example. They run their businesses like shit. They have terrible debt. And they are able to do that because the government keeps coming back in and bailing them out with more printed money. They should just let those bad businesses that get into so much debt crumble. So this is all coming to a head finally. Like, this has been going on at least since 2008. Let's see. So Daniel M, yeah, so yeah, they're trying to devalue it to pay back. Um, it depends on your employer. If your employer wants to pay you crypto, then you can be paid in crypto. And more companies are starting to adopt that, and that's one of the biggest things with crypto is because Bitcoin and some of the other ones are decentralized, which means that the government and the Federal Reserve have no control of it and can never get control of it. Uh, a lot of investors are realizing that that's a better way to go than trying to invest in the stock market, because if you look at the S&P 500, you can see volume's been decreasing since March on it. The biggest volume we had in one day was up here at 324, and then it just keeps decreasing and decreasing. Well, Daniel M, if you own your own business and whoever's buying your products or whatever, then yeah, if you can set up crypto payments, then people can pay you in cryptos. I mean, the thing is, right now it's really tricky because cryptos is a new sector. They've been around for 8 years, but they're untested. They're new. They do have a lot of positives. They do have some cons at the moment as well. But gold, silver, those are the traditional stores of value, the places where people put their money in rough times, and they're getting manipulated too by the short futures. There's just a lot of manipulation and craziness going on in the stock market and all the markets right now, except for crypto. There's not really a way for anybody to manipulate cryptos other than the news media pumping cryptos. Yeah, if you get paid in crypto, you still have to pay taxes. You probably want to do a little bit more research on cryptos before you do that. And I don't know if you can demand your customers to pay you in crypto. You might lose customers that way, but I would see if you can get crypto payments as an option. Yeah, yeah. China is creating their own digital currency controlled by the government. The Federal Reserve has said they want to do the same thing. The U.S. Federal Reserve, they want to create a digital dollar. But what's the point of doing that? The dollar is already digital. Like I said, they're not printing money like actual paper money. They're just going in the computer and adding a couple zeros to the currency pool. So like governments trying to make their own digital dollar, their own crypto coins is just nonsense. It defeats the whole purpose of cryptocurrency because one of the biggest one of the biggest appealing things about crypto is that it's decentralized, that the government doesn't have control. Like that's how all the world's governments have power over the people, is because they control the currency. And that's why you're seeing a lot of adoption of cryptos, because if you take if you take the money away, or the control of money away from the government with cryptos, then the government has no control over you. Because just think about it, they control the money supply. They control everything with money, by controlling the money. So take that away, you take their power away. Yeah, exactly, Marcy. The government cannot stand to give up control. That's why you hear Janet Yellen talking about, we're going to raise taxes, and cryptocurrencies can be used for fraud or money laundering. Like, if you think that crypto is being used for money laundering, for one, that is possible, but every single transaction is posted on the blockchain. So if the cops or the government or whoever wanted to go after people with money laundering, all they got to do is open up the ledger on the blockchain and they can see it. It's way safer than cash. More Cash is like the most laundered thing there is, and most illegal activities is used with cash. Cryptos are way better than cash, way more secure, way more clean, and able to be tracked and all that. Well, I agree, Daniel B, and I think we're already to that point. I think we're already getting close to some anarchy, but you don't need the government to control money. Like, so far, in if you look back throughout history, every single government that has controlled the money supply has failed. The U.S. government right now, and this, of course, is perspective and how you measure success and failure. But when I say every government has failed, I mean because there's not been one government that has been able to sustain and thrive for a long period of time. And that's usually because they try to manipulate the money. But one thing that some economists, a lot of economists, and definitely all the politicians don't understand is supply and demand is the natural laws of nature. Supply and demand has existed since men and women were put on this earth. The first man or first woman, whatever, picked up a rock and was like, hey, this is a pretty rock. And then another man came by and said, hey, I want that pretty rock. And that guy goes, well, do you have anything that you can trade for this pretty rock? Yeah, I got this couple of berries here. Oh, well, I'm hungry. I'll trade you the rock for 3 berries. Supply and demand is what it is. It's not going to go anywhere ever, no matter what government does what or whatever. And every time that they try to manipulate supply and demand, it goes to hell. Everything goes to shit. And that's what we're seeing right now across the whole entire world. Because they've been manipulating. And this is not just the U.S. This is all governments pretty much have been manipulating the markets, prices of products, just all kinds of stuff. Um, Marcy, uh, I've got a couple of videos on crypto, and I can help you with that a little bit. But go check out Liam at Confident in Crypto. He's been on the channels multiple times. His YouTube channel is just Confident in Crypto, and he puts out videos daily. He knows cryptos better than I do, and Liam is a friend of the channel, so go check him out. You can learn a lot about cryptos there. But I think cryptos are the future. Now, of course, there's a lot of altcoins right now, but altcoins, not all of them, not all those projects are going to be successful. It's just like the .com bubble right now, where you have everybody pushing into cryptos and it's hyped up. Now, cryptos aren't going anywhere, but some of those projects will fail. So that's the thing with cryptos at the moment, is there's a lot of hype, there's a lot of money being pushed into them, but inevitably not all of them will make it. Desiree, what is the lowest doing biz? What do you mean? Oh yeah, I agree with you, Daniel B, on the poverty thing. I mean, we're already seeing pretty bad poverty since, the government shut down the economy. And I've said this before, but I know there's some new people in here. Don't let, if you listen to mainstream media news, you should probably stop. Don't let the government tell you that COVID shut down the U.S. economy. COVID did not do that. All right? COVID is a virus. It has no control over the U.S. economy. It's just a virus. The government has control over the U.S. economy. They are the ones who shut it down. The COVID didn't walk into the U.S. and start telling people to close their businesses. So, but that's kind of one of their narratives they like to run with. Oh, COVID's locked down the country and caused all this damage. No. If you wouldn't have locked down or any of that, this damage that's been done wouldn't have been done. Now, I'm not saying that COVID is fake or any of that. I'm not a naysayer. I'm just saying you got to put the blame where the blame goes. And COVID doesn't live in the White House. It doesn't have control over the Senate and the House, or state governments and local officials. So Elvis, Tilray. I mean, if they're merging with Afra, I like that. I like Afra. I'm not a big fan of Tilray, but Tilray's pretty cheap right now, though. I mean, this is not a terrible area. You got the 100-day moving average right there, and you got multiple areas where this area held up as some support. If you go to a max chart, you can see back in the day, Tilray went on a nice move. I mean, you never know with a merger or anything what's going to happen for sure, but I don't know that much about Tilray. I know some, but I know more about Afra than Tilray. But just do your own due diligence, and if you think it's a good play, I mean, it is down quite a bit from where it was a month ago, so could be a possible play there. Desiree, what do you mean, like the lowest supply and demand business? Like, are you asking, like, if you're going to create a business, what would be the best business to start that has the lowest supply of something to sell and the highest demand for it? And yeah, we'll get the crypto live trading going soon. I've been trying to start for the last couple of weeks, but with everything going on, I just haven't had a chance. But we're gonna start that very soon. No worries. Okay, so Daniel B, that's a good question. So the difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum and other cryptos. Number one, you've got to understand that Bitcoin itself is pretty much just what it is. It's built on the Bitcoin blockchain. The Bitcoin blockchain has forked. So we've got Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash. I think Wrap Bitcoin was original Bitcoin or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, Bitcoin is what it is. It's a coin that runs the Bitcoin blockchain, and it's used for the money transferring, and that's pretty much as simple as it gets. The difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum is Ethereum's blockchain can be built on top of. So if you think of it like Ethereum is the ground floor of a new technology, it's a Lego. Ethereum is the base Lego. You can build all types of other Lego creations on top of the Ethereum blockchain, and that's where you see a lot of these altcoins, and you see like Decentraland and a lot of these games, Axie Infinity. They're built on top of the Ether blockchain. So it's basically a building block. I think Bitcoin is the original blockchain, but I don't think Ethereum is built on top of blockchain. But from my understanding, the blockchain, Bitcoin's blockchain, is pretty much the blueprint for all other blockchains, because it was the random Satoshi guy, whoever that nobody knows, who created it. It did not exist, that type of technology, before. So basically, Ethereum used Bitcoin's blockchain code to make the Ethereum blockchain, and like Bitcoin, you're mainly only going to see people use it as a store of value and to transfer money, take payments, things like that. Ethereum's coin itself is the gas to run the Ethereum blockchain. And that's why you hear gas fees, which means that it costs Ethereum to do transactions on the Ethereum blockchain, because you have to have miners and networks moving all the data around, keeping all the data in order, and Ethereum is how they get paid to do that. So Bitcoin, I don't think is going anywhere. I think it's more of like I said, more of a kind of a store of value, a good means of exchanging money, and Ethereum is going to be the industry disruptor. Ethereum is where all types of different apps are going to be built on, and all these apps are going to disrupt everything: the financial sectors, the gaming sectors, the data collection sectors. Like everything just about to do with tech, Ethereum's blockchain is going to disrupt that. And Ethereum's not the only one with a blockchain like that. There's multiple other ones. Loopring is trying to run. It's built on top of the Ethereum blockchain, if I remember correctly, and it runs beside it. And it's supposed to be able to allow transactions for cheaper, because Ethereum is so expensive. Gas fees right now to do transactions on Ethereum are super expensive. So it's all new technology. It's going to take a while for it all to get straightened out. There's of course going to be hiccups, problems, but because it's such an open market type of digital world, there's no regulations or anything. Innovation can happen very quickly. I can tell you what the blockchains are. You see, this is the thing, Daniel B. You're asking what is the difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I just told you some of the differences. But what you got to understand is you got to stop looking at the coins and the tokens as money or as stocks or something like that. They are investments. They are similar to stocks in a way, but the value is not because Bitcoin is Bitcoin. The value of Ether is not because it's an Ethereum coin. The value behind these coins and tokens are in the blockchain technology. And the blockchain technology is new technology that is speeding up transactions. It's more secure than any other transaction protocols or anything that we've had. Bitcoin's never been hacked. Ethereum, I don't think, has ever been hacked. But basically, one block, the reason why it's called a blockchain is because you have time period blocks, kind of like a candle on the stock chart. So let's say this green candle right here is a block in the blockchain. Let's say this is the first block, okay? So this block is just a block of data. So it's going to have transactions of people who bought and sold Bitcoin, transactions of data of money moving around, all of that. It's going to be on this first block. That's, say the block is a 10-minute block, like a 10-minute candle. Once that block is closed, a new data ledger block is started, and then that block connects to the next blockchain. So the blocks continue to connect. So all the data continues to connect. So you can go back right now, if you go into the Bitcoin blockchain, and you can see who the first person was to buy a Bitcoin. So no matter how long this goes on for, these transaction ledgers are extremely valuable because you don't have to have filing cabinets. You don't have to take up a bunch of room on a Google Drive or on your computer because it's all on the blockchain networks. The blockchain networks are powered by every single computer in the world. The ledgers are stored on every single computer in the world in the network. So there's no way to hack it because you'd literally have to hack every single computer in the world at once. You would also not be able to counterfeit it. You can't counterfeit Bitcoin. Now, some of the altcoins have had issues there, but like I said, not all the altcoins will make it. But Bitcoin, it stores these ledgers, like I said, around all the networks. So when you buy Bitcoin, there's going to be a record of the Bitcoin you own all around the world on every single computer network. So there's no way that that's ever going to get deleted. Nobody can take that Bitcoin from you. It is in the blockchain ledger. It's your name or your wallet ID and that amount of Bitcoin. Same thing with all the other cryptos. So it's just safer. It's faster. And then all these new apps and stuff, it's, like I said, they're going to disrupt every single industry. Gaming industry, financial industries, because they're already doing DeFi-backed crypto-backed loans and all of that stuff. So it's a lot. You gotta study cryptos and learn about it. Absolutely, because there's a lot to it. There's a lot of new language there, but as my best at trying to describe it, it's seems pretty complicated. But if you go watch the Portfolio Power Up playlist with Liam on there, Liam explains it a little bit better. What's my take on silver? I love silver. I own pounds and pounds of silver. Silver, and I just talked about this. So if you go to the uploads, the video I released last night was talking about Bitcoin versus gold and silver, and that video will give you my thoughts on all three of them. I like all 3: gold, silver, and Bitcoin. Silver has definitely got a ton of potential. Let me pull up a silver chart real quick and go through this. I'll do a short little quick talk here about this. And you see, here's the Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin's been on this nice run. Now, you look at silver. And back here in 2011, silver was all the way up to $50. That was after the 2008 housing market crash, and the market started rebounding some, and silver went on a nice run. Ever since then, though, silver has been pushed down. Now, silver and gold are used in every single computer chip, circuit board, all of that stuff, because they're the best conductivity metals, especially gold. So I think there's a lot of validity to the short squeeze on silver, because if you go right now, for one, the demand, technology has not slowed down from 2011 to 2021. So the demand for silver has only risen. So there's a disconnect in the chart of silver and the demand in reality. And that's where I think they're right about the U.S. Futures. The short futures are being used to keep the price down, because if silver and gold get too high, then the tech companies and the chip manufacturers and stuff, they're going to have to charge a lot more for their chips and hardware and stuff that they use gold and silver in, and they don't want to do that. So I think they're purposely keeping it held down, because there's no reason the demand of silver should have dropped like this. And right now, at this current moment, the spot price is $25. I bet you an ounce of silver, you cannot go into any bullion store and get it for $25 an ounce. Every bullion store I've went into is $10 to $15 over spot price. $25 is the spot price. That means best you can probably get is junk silver for $30 an ounce. And if you go on eBay, it's even higher. I'm gonna pull up eBay real quick and show you guys. So look here on eBay, $35 for a 1 ounce silver round. So eBay, $10 over spot price, $10 over spot price, $15 over spot price, $10 over spot price. They got Wall Street bets 1 ounce silver. That's $25 over spot price. 36, so that's 11 over spot price. So the physical silver demand and price is disconnected from the silver futures. How do the swings of value in Bitcoin happen? Just supply and demand. I mean, Bitcoin's not a stable investment like the U.S. dollar. The price of Bitcoin is going to depend on how many people are holding it, how many people are still buying it. But you have a lot of people holding Bitcoin. I mean, there's a lot of people who are really holding it, and the supply of Bitcoin is extremely low. So that's why you see the price fluctuations and so much volatility. It's because there's not a lot of supply of Bitcoin, and there's heavy demand. There you go, H&H Trader giving you a little bit more information on the cryptos. Like I said, he's got a little bit more explaining there. Elvis, so personally, I like physical silver. There's plenty of different ways you can invest in it. You can buy silver stocks, silver mining gold stocks, and I like gold too. Like, I don't like just silver, but you can see here, this is, that's AU. This is a gold stock, but this gold stock is low. Actually, let me just go to my precious metals watch list here. Here we go. But if I start going through this watch list, you'll see gold and silver and all that's down pretty low. Get out of here. So this is another precious metal company. It was up high back then. It's at a little bit lower now. Gold, this company, at a pretty low, down around $21. A year ago it was at $31. Same thing. So you got gold miners, and you do have silver miners. AG is a silver miner, First Majestic Silver Corp. This one is not a bad one. They don't pay a dividend. They're a little bit newer of a company. If you go to the max chart, you can see they've only been around since 2009. But there's not a lot of silver miners because it's hard to have a mine directly for silver. A lot of the world's silver is found from copper mines and gold mines and stuff. Silver is pretty rare. It's a pretty rare resource. And there is some cheaper gold stocks too, some junior miners, and a junior miner is just a mining company that's small and new. Northern Superior, you can see right there, they're starting to drill for some gold. Roscan Gold is probably my favorite, cheapest company. Junior miner, they've got a lot of projects getting ready to happen. A lot of gold they're fixing to pull out of the ground, and when they do, this will probably rip pretty nicely, but you can see just some consolidation there. So you can invest in gold and silver through the stocks, through the mining stocks. You can invest in the physical form. Like I said, I like the physical form, but right now the physical forms are disconnected from the spot price. Look for jewelry stores in your area that are going out of business. Maybe you can get some silver jewelry, because silver jewelry is usually pretty cheap. Kohl's has been having big sales on it, 60-70% off. And if you're going to go the jewelry route, make sure that you're filling the jewelry, make sure it's heavy, because if you buy a light piece of silver jewelry, you can get charged for the design and not the silver content. So when you're investing in jewelry, you want to make sure there's a heavy amount of silver there for the money that you're getting, so you can try to get near spot price or even melt price. The bars and rounds, like I said, there's online places. I use APMEX to buy my physical silver. Well, APMEX and Money Metals Exchange. Money Metals Exchange is another decent one. APMEX Money Metals Exchange. If you are watching this, hit me up. Sponsor. Let's go. Let's do the thing. If you don't, I'll still keep buying gold and silver from you, but still, you guys should sponsor me. eFlim, I'm using the Thinkorswim platform. You can find that through tdameritrade.com. So, yeah. A lot of questions today, guys. Good job keeping me on my toes and putting me to work. But yeah, as far as the silver, go watch that gold versus Bitcoin video I just put out. And I'm going to be talking about silver more. Some of you guys have been following me know that I've been talking about silver for a while. I've been buying silver for the past year. Actually, a little more than a year now at this point. Well, alright guys, I'm going to call it a day. Appreciate everybody joining me as always. And I see you guys actually was punching that like button today, teaching that algorithm a lesson. That algorithm, he kicked my granny in the shin. Can't have that. Got to put it in its place. So if you haven't smashed that like button yet, smash that algorithm right in its like button and teach it a lesson. Yeah, Elvis, I will work on that. I'll work on doing a video for my gold and silver portfolio. A lot of my gold and silver is physical though, so I mean it'd kind of be just me doing a video showing you what I got. But yeah, I'll work on that for you guys, get that out for you. Like I said, there's a lot going on this week. A lot of content is going to be coming out. But yeah, appreciate you guys joining me as always. Stay safe out there. Till next time.